This is Christopher Lee, a former Marine who has been brought in for questioning in the death of Erin Corwin, who he had been having an affair with for several months. The couple was finally discovered by Lee's wife, Nicole, and broke things off for a short period before getting back together. Corwin became pregnant with Lee's child and began to push Lee to leave his wife and daughter. The affair was becoming very different from the fantasy escape that Lee had initially wanted, and leaving his daughter was not an option. Lee claims that he asked Erin if she had touched his daughter inappropriately, and that she admitted to doing so. After hearing that, he strangled her with a garrotte made from rebar and cord, then dumped her body in a nearby mineshaft and attempted to set it on fire.
Right on. And you said you talked to somebody else. You talked to another detective or deputy or what?
Deputy Sheriff Milan, and then another female officer. I don't remember her name.
Okay.
It's just the Deputy Sheriff Milan gave me his card.
Oh, okay.
They're the ones that initially came to our house, and I talked to them, and then I talked to them at Vaughn's because they were trying to get a hold of me again for some follow-up questions.
Oh, okay. When did you talk to them?
Sunday?
Mm.
And Saturday, I think.
Oh, they talked to you both days?
Yeah.
Okay, what were they?
Well, the first day they asked me, they're like, hey, you never went missing. You know them? I'm like, yeah, I know them. And like, I didn't bring up mine and Erin's thing because it didn't seem pertinent at the time.
Okay.
Because like, that's how my mind works. And then that's why they wanted to talk to me Sunday afternoon. It was like, they're like, why didn't you bring that up? Kind of important. I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was.
Okay.
So then I talked to them that day about stuff like that. And that's when they told me that, they said, got a report that someone had seen it Erin Saturday night, which is impossible because I was home most of that day. So
okay.
I tried to call them today to talk to them, but like, either someone like completely missaw what they saw or they're intentionally lying to you.
Yeah, I haven't heard that, so whatever that might be bad information.
Well,
that's not what I
know there's a lot of that going on too, because I don't know if like my downstairs neighbor's wife is trying to like help or play Inspector Gadget by herself, but like I guess they're talking to because she called my wife and was like being pretty rude and like, yeah, we're talking to Erin's friends, and they said you aren't Saturday. I'm like, no.
Okay.
Because like she didn't like Erin never even, I don't think she even knew.
Well, let's back up to when you first met your neighbor. All the rumors. Like I said, I'm not really sure. Some of this I hadn't heard that you were seen with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I just know you guys are neighbors, so I'm trying to get how you guys met, that type of thing. Kind of talk about the relationship. I know you said there was something, a relationship that you didn't tell me at first, but we'll just start from the very first time that you met. What's your neighbor's name? First name?
Erin.
Erin.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what's their last name?
Erin and John Corwin lived in the same apartment complex as the Lees. They were married shortly out of high school, but did not seem to have any trouble managing the separation caused by John's training and deployments. The marriage became strained when Erin suffered a miscarriage and began to pull away from John, eventually finding a distraction in Lee.
Corwin.
Okay, so it's Erin and John Corwin,
yes.
And they're your neighbors.
Yep.
Okay, and they're married?
Yes.
Okay, and when did you meet them?
I met her. She moved in before he got back. We didn't really it was just kind of like, hey, you're the new neighbor. What's up?
When was that?
I honestly don't know. Dates like you could ask my wife. She's like my treasurer and gatekeeper. She's like my.
Was it like a month ago or a year ago?
It was a while ago. It was a long while ago. And then didn't really have any interaction with her until I got back from Okinawa. And then we talked to me and my wife went over there and hung out with him and his wife and some of their friends. And then I was having a really hard time adjusting back to the last apartment for some reason. Mm-hmm. And my emotional state was I didn't get fucked with anything. I was just kind of falling apart mentally. And I guess she gave off some kind of she was in a bad relationship, and she said her husband was beating her and choking her, and she was scared for her life, and
This is a lie. although it is uncertain whether Erin told Lee this in a bid to make him feel sympathetic and protective, or if Lee is making this up himself to excuse their relationship.
Man, fix that. So I just like being in the state I was like, okay, well, I can fix this. And then, broken pieces fix each other. So we just kind of started developing a bond that grew stronger. And then over time, we started getting closer, having longer conversations. And then we kissed a few times at her place. And then my wife, she found out and she blew up and she told me. I guess I wasn't there when they actually confronted her, but she'd been lying to me, lying to everybody, to her friends.
Who confronted
her? My wife.
Okay, so
I was there. Thank you.
Okay, so
I don't remember where I was.
What? So her husband's name is John,
Yes.
and he came back from a deployment. He was in Okinawa.
Yes.
Do you know how long he was deployed?
Probably about 6 months is the standard.
Is that standard? Okay. And again, if I'm asking some of these questions, I'm sorry, man. I just whatever it is.
It's just like I really, unless it really recent, can't give you dates.
No, that's fine. So was it recent when he came back? Was it this year?
No, it was a while ago too.
Okay.
Me and Erin didn't start actually talking until probably a couple months after he got back from deployment.
Okay. And you don't know the time or
No.
How long have you known her? If you had to take guess, more than 6 months.
Yeah, more than 6 months. Probably more than 6 months, less than a year and a half. That's
okay.
Because I've been really busy. When I took off the rifle range and got thrown back into my leadership position, I wasn't planning on leaving Marines ever again. And so I just swamped, crazy busy. Responsibility is way above my level. And so that all came together. So my sense of time is skewed.
Oh, okay.
It's by range.
No problem. Okay. So you guys started, you never hung out when he was on deployment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So on deployment, he comes back and then, is it parties or, when does that start? When do you guys start
back?
out?
It was probably a couple months after you got back. I guess it kind of, their relationship.
Did you mind if I close the door?
That's fine.
Okay. Just when people walk around.
Yeah.
Just give us a little bit more privacy, man.
You could tell that they were having marital problems and
What do you mean?
They would yell at each other and normal Marines get stressed, they yell, that's what they do, and she kind of crying or stuff like that, and they just be normally they'd just be whatever, but I was pretty heavily, and so I was I don't give a fuck about anything.
The marital troubles between the Corwins stemmed from the recent miscarriage that Erin suffered. This caused her to become withdrawn, and her husband's deployment only compounded the issue.
And I don't know, I'm not really sure how it happened, it just kind of meshed together somehow.
Okay, so you said you had your issues. What was kind of spawning those, your last deployment?
I don't know, me and my wife, you get so used to being away from each other that it's hard to be with each other sometimes.
Okay.
And so we just weren't communicating, and I was in my own world, I wanted to go back to Afghanistan because it was easier there, all you had to do is wake up, stand post, call patrols, do stuff like that, real simple stuff, no real life type responsibilities.
You didn't have to worry about the wife nagging or
it's just,
clean up your room or something like that.
She's like, you're different, blah, 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 and it's just, it was easier over there,
Okay. When did you and your wife, when were you guys kind of having those?
It started when I first got back, and it started getting, it got worse, but not to the point where people would probably, I don't know if anybody noticed, but it was just a tension,
Mm-hmm.
We never really, and then, we just occasionally would blow up at each other, and then we had one real bad argument, I had been drinking, and I just got really mad at her because she made dinner the wrong way, so I just up and left. She got her word, and like we knew like we had issues were going on. I just felt like I didn't need help, and I didn't want to listen to her when she said she needed help, that I needed to talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And she was right that like, I was not all there, you know.
Okay. And when were you deployed? This was Afghanistan, right?
Yeah, I got there right before Thanksgiving, and I came back in April.
Of this year? Or was that last year?
Okay. Yeah, so I was back for a while, about a year and a half.
2012 you got deployed?
Mm-hmm. I think so, because
November to 2013?
we got there before Thanksgiving, because I remember that because when we got to the place where we're at, we had Thanksgiving leftovers that they had made the couple days prior.
Okay, so it was right around Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
November time, and then, so you were there for 6 months, came back in, what month?
April. So 5 months? November.
So a little more than a year you've been back.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were back, were you guys staying at the same place
Mm-hmm.
where the apartments
Yeah.
there on base? Okay, so you came there, and you hadn't seen Erin or met her
Mm-hmm.
when that time. So how did you kind of cope with what you were dealing with when you first came back?
My downstairs neighbor, we were hanging out a lot.
Which one?
At his last name is Malachi, drinking pretty heavily, but we were just hanging out a lot, you know, doing guy things. I was trying to get my Jeep together.
Mm-hmm.
That was another thing. There's an hardware shop. We're actually fine on a battery. I would complain with them, but they gave me the runaround hard.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
You trying to fix your Jeep up and stuff?
Yeah, and just it wasn't anything that I was really noticing. It's just like the world was just like, no, I didn't like the way it was going. You know, I was like indifferent about life. You know, like I'm alive, I'm not, I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like my only thoughts were like, I wish I could go back because it was easier there. It's kind of hard feeling to explain.
No, absolutely, yeah. I mean, like I said, I can only imagine what you had to deal with over there. Like I said, I haven't been over there, but it'd be very difficult. I know, you know, you're training yourself one day as a Marine, you know, to go over and do a job, and you don't have to worry about the other outside influences or whatever it is, and you come back and realize that, well, you got a wife, you got a daughter, and it's a lot of pressure.
It's weird, like you're there and like you miss someone a lot, and you come back and it's like it's not the picture perfect thing you had in mind, and so like you know you don't get upset, but you're just like I don't know, it's weird for me.
Okay, so you kind of start feeling depressed a little bit. You're drinking, and then you guys start hanging out like as couples, or how does that work?
Yeah, well, like when he first got back, we were hanging out with him as a couple, and like she was into horses like my wife, so
Okay.
we'd all go to the horse rescue together and hang out up there. You know, we'd ride horses and talk and do stuff. Her husband wasn't really into that, so he wouldn't come with us.
Okay.
And I don't know, that's it. That's just kind of what we did.
So you guys have horses. Does she have a horse also, or does
She gave it up a couple weeks ago, actually.
Okay. So she gave up a horse a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that was her horse, or was it one of your guys' horses?
No, it was, she was sponsoring it, which means she didn't technically own it, but she was like taking care of it and paying for its food and whatnot. So it was her horse, just in completely like running their own kind of.
Okay. She could ride it whenever she wanted or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was pretty attached to it.
Where were those horses at?
They're in Yucca Valley, at the White Rock Horse Rescue.
White Rock Horse Rescue? Okay. So how often would you guys go ride horses?
A couple times a week, 2 to 3 times a week at least. I think her and my wife went a couple times by themselves.
Did you guys go on trails? Did you
Some
ride with them, or are they
yeah.
like stadium horses?
No, we rode on trails. I was like just starting to get into horses at that time because I had zero experience with them beforehand. And so like I was mostly around like fixing things up on the ranch, trying to be helpful if I could because I wasn't, really into riding horses.
Mm-hmm. And this ranch is the same place where the horse rescue was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The lady she owns it, she lives there by herself and she like runs the whole thing by herself. She's really, really, really strong lady, but I was helping her put up fences and move manure and stuff like that, just basic ranch and stuff.
And what's the place called again? I'm sorry.
White Rock Horse Rescue.
Where's that at?
If you head to Yucca, Oldham Springs Road, like you're going to Landers, you go up that way, and once you pass Ferris gas station, you take a left on the Tracy, and then a right on the Geronimo, and it's right up there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Pretty big place?
Yeah.
Big ranch? Do you have a lot of horses there?
She does.
Okay. So how many horses did you guys have?
I have one, and my wife has one. She had one prior to it, but it cut its leg somehow while she wasn't there, and we had to put it down. And then I had another horse I was working with, but we had to put that one down too, just because she was old and her knees weren't working right. She didn't really have a future, and every time she walked around, she was in pain.
Okay. So you go a couple times a week. When did you guys start going riding horses?
She was going while I was deployed, and that's like her friend had taken her up there, and she's like, "Hey, this is pretty cool to do. Your husband's deployed. This will keep you busy." And I started going with her once I got back.
Okay, so last year you started.
Yeah.
When did Erin start going with you guys?
Probably a couple weeks, maybe a month after she got back, because they're from Tennessee, and she had horses when she was younger, and she's like, "Oh, this is pretty cool."
Okay.
Lee's wife, Erin, and another wife of a Marine in the same apartment complex had formed a friend group while their husbands were deployed. So Lee's wife would not initially have thought there was anything suspicious about Erin tagging along with them when they went riding.
So that was her interest in it.
Okay. So you guys take on a couple times a week, 2 or 3 times a week, or was it like a set schedule you guys would
No,
go?
not really. Just whenever I had time, whenever I worked with a while. Because a lot of the time I'm working 10, 11-hour days. So, if I got up early or if I could get away, we'd go up there.
Okay. And usually it was your wife, you, and Erin?
Not usually, but occasionally. Usually just me and my wife, but she'd either come up there on her own or in her own vehicle.
Okay. And did you and Erin ever go by yourselves?
No.
Okay. So your wife was always with you when Erin was there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, so you guys would ride the horses, take care of them, do whatever. But you guys hung out.
Yeah.
Did John go with you guys ever to the ranch?
I think he went once or twice. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
This time he didn't. He wasn't like super fond of the place. So.
Okay. And then, so.
Oh, before I forget.
Yeah.
Somebody called up the lady that owns the ranch, asking about Erin, and she thought it was a different Erin because a lady named Erin, but spelled differently, had left her card there.
Okay.
And so this, I guess I don't remember the chick's name on the call, Isabel. And she's like, yeah, and Isabel's like, hey, Erin came by here the other day to pick up her card. And so I don't know if that's like filtering down somewhere.
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
Okay.
Like, so there's all kinds of info out there we don't know. We just have to, try to talk to people and kind of weed through that stuff. So, okay. So you guys did that. Did you guys do anything else together, like as couples, other than the horseback riding?
We went to dinner a couple times. Me and Erin went mudding a couple times. And I wasn't really into that because she thought we were in the burger cheap.
Okay, where'd you guys go mudding at?
Over by the dry lake bed, kind of behind college.
Where's it at? I'm sorry.
Sunfair Road. You take a right as you're heading towards Yucca, and you go down that road till you hit Hollywood Boulevard or something like that, and then you take another right, and there's like a big open dry lake bed area that when it rains, it gets really muddy.
Okay.
A lot of people take their vehicles there.
And you went mudding with who?
Aaron, brother was there.
How many times did you guys go mudding?
I think just once with me and Aaron, but I've gone multiple times with Aaron or any other friends.
Okay. Anything else as couples? You said you went out to dinner a few times. Where'd you guys go out?
La Casienta, the place in Yucca, the Mexican place, has that karaoke bar attached to it.
Okay. Any other places that you guys went to?
I don't think so. Just like one place. I think that was like after we went to the ranch or something.
Okay.
We went there.
Okay. And then you said that you guys started hanging out more. What kind of drew you more towards Erin?
I'm really not sure. We used to watch The Walking Dead together, and we used to do that as a couple. And
Lee was drawn to Erin's vulnerability. He knew it would make her more susceptible to manipulation and easier to feed her dissatisfaction with her marriage.
I had missed a few episodes, and I guess she wasn't into it. So the first time we actually really hung out together, we were playing Halo over at John's house. And they were watching The Walking Dead in line.
Who was playing Halo?
Me and Erin.
Okay. And then and your wife.
And I think the brother were watching The Walking Dead.
Okay. So you guys were playing Halo. When was that? Do you remember
I don't know.
how long ago it was?
Whenever The Walking Dead was on, that's my only real reference.
Okay.
So we could check that.
Like when there were new episodes
Yeah.
on Netflix or anything like that? Okay, so whenever The Walking Dead was on, that's when you guys kind of hung out,
Yeah.
started getting
That's
a
when
little
things
closer? Or
started getting more serious. Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
I don't know, like, we were playing Halo and she would talk about how she was unhappy and how she wanted to go home, but she had done better. And just like stuff that, like, I guess now thinking about it kind of makes sense, but not really. But like at the time, I didn't care. It was just like she was like a change from reality, you know, like something outside that I could focus on. That wasn't, you know, the monotony of, you know, being back in my own life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's.
What did she say about her relationship?
She said she's really unhappy. He scared her. And she'd say that he would choke her whenever, like, he would get mad, and she said she'd noticed it before they got married, but, you know, she thought it would change. And that's what, and then, you know, I was like, oh, I can fix this, like, in my mind, like white knight syndrome, something like that. Like, it was just like she was like a distraction from everything else that was going wrong in my mind.
Okay.
Something that I could focus on and fix. Because that's like, when I get really stressed out, I can build things or fix things. It just helps my mind unwind and how to relax.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, so you thought you could fix that relationship?
Yeah, I thought I could, like, save her or, you know, maybe help her get home, just get out of a bad relationship or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
In all reality, it was just making things worse.
Okay, and is this was it like a therapy for you kind of, or?
Yeah, it was an escape, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't call it therapy because I wasn't fixing anything, but it was like, you know, some people like do drugs, or like have alcohol, I would drink and, you know, I could focus on something else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what it was. It was just something else to focus on. You know, I could pretend my problems weren't real.
So, did it just start out talking?
Yeah, it was just like casual conversation. She, like, you know, we'd talk. She'd, like, you know, not really happy. And honestly, that's kind of how it started. It's just avalanche downhill so fast. Like, I was falling apart so fast. It was crazy that I didn't realize that I needed help.
Tell me a little bit more about that. How did you fall down, or how did you avalanche?
Like, I was I was playing Russian roulette 3-4 times a week, like every morning, like not caring about anything, just being reckless at work. It actually improved my squad a lot, or my platoon, because we would just take a man and do crazy stuff, fire rockets at nothing. But it's just taking chances at the enemy taking, driving too fast, anything to kind of get like a rush or a distraction from like a feeling of nothing or emptiness.
Lee had been reprimanded multiple times for his recklessness, and his disregard for safety was a major concern for everyone who worked with him.
Did maybe this relationship with Erin, did it kind of give you that same rush?
Yeah, I think that's what it did, because, like, you know, I'd play Russian roulette, I'd spin and it would click and just, you know, put it away. That's good for the day, or, you know, just like a complete indifference unless there was something else, some kind of influence or high that I was trying to get that I could never actually get.
So is that something like an adrenaline rush is what you're talking about?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know, I just wanted to feel something, you know. I was really, like, numb to the world, you know. Like, my wife, she'd, like, yell at me or anything, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool. I'd go outside and have a drink and just...
How would your wife feel if you were having a relationship, or she found out if you guys were having a relationship?
But she found out.
Oh, did she?
Yes, and I guess she had got hold of my phone. Like, I'm surprised she didn't find Sarah, because I've been, like, super secret with my phone. And I guess she had taken the SIM card out and checked the messages I put in her phone or something. And so she got really sad, crying. And she told they confronted Erin. I wasn't there when they confronted her. I don't remember where it was.
Lee should be able to recall the details easily since he was there for the public confrontation. Nicole screamed at Erin for a period of time before finally saying that if Erin did not stop seeing Lee, she would kill her.
But I guess she had been lying about, him being abusive. And then he was like, I was just defending myself. She was the one that hit me first and all sorts of stuff. Like, my wife would be the one to give you more information on that because I wasn't there.
Okay.
But I guess she had been lying to me. She lied to her friends.
Lying to you about what?
Like, she was in a bad relationship that it was all. She would tell me that like they were in like a super amount of debt and all the money and spending all the money. And like I really don't know if anything she ever told me was true or not. Because like as soon as everyone found out, I just stopped talking to her.
How long ago did that happen?
A month and a half ago, 2 months maybe. It seems like forever ago. It really does. Just because like I was in like such a bad state. Like because me and my wife started going to marriage counseling after that. It really seemed like it was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just actually the whole like past like 6 months of my life, I'm just hazy, almost dreamlike. It's weird.
Okay. So the relationship started, you guys were playing Xbox, she's telling you about her relationship. Did you get into did you describe to her your relationship with your wife or kind of read things?
I confided in her, that title, and she's like, you can't be doing that stuff. It's kind of like she was someone to talk to about stuff that I didn't want to talk to about with my wife. Problems that I didn't even think I needed to fix, but I guess consciously I knew I needed to talk to someone about. But I guess she was someone that I could tell stuff that I didn't want to tell anybody else. Because she was a secret, so I could tell her my secrets.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean when she was a secret? What?
Like when me and her were in a relationship, no one else knew about it. So I could text her things, be like, hey, this is what's going on, blah blah blah, stuff that I didn't want to talk about with the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, and did it start out, so you guys were talking, hanging out, playing Xbox, did it say, did you say, I'm going to text you? I mean, how did it happen from the night that you guys were playing Xbox? How did it happen so fast? Sure.
I got to remember, me and her were hanging out at the dog park, and one of us went to the car junior, but someone's phone wasn't off, so I gave her my number, so me and Dawn would go to Carl Jr. and she could text us what they wanted. And then, I think one day she texted me, she'd be like, this, and this. I can't believe this is happening. This is what I'm supposed to be like. And then, I'd be like, well, let's meet outside. We can talk about it. And it just kind of went from there. We were texting a lot back and forth. And it's just like a real strong emotional bond grew, I guess. It's like,
how often would you guys text?
A lot, couple times an hour at least. Every day. And it got to the point, it was in a new relationship.
Mm-hmm. And was that when you were at work or?
It was at work, was at home. Anytime I got the chance, really. Because, it was my make-believe life. Something bad would happen. Me and Nicole get in an argument, I'd go text Erin, get away from my real life, go to my make-believe life. My happy place, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you would text her and just whatever, random stuff about your day or complain about
stuff like that. Just
it was kind of the same way with her too, right?
Mm-hmm.
She complained about her. Did she say anything specifically like how he acted when he came back from deployment, or what kind of things was she saying about you?
She was just saying that he'd always push her around and use McMahon moves on her when she told him to stop. He wouldn't, and he'd want to and just stuff like that. Just complaining, saying that she wanted to go home, but he didn't have the money to send her home. And she wanted to run away and get out of there, stuff like that. Okay. She talked about leaving all the time, but I guess the big thing was that she didn't have any money to get home. And then after Yeah, because he bought a sand rail, I guess. She was like, he spent all our money on a sand rail, and she said that he'd been lying about where he's spending the money and stuff like that. So,
Okay, so he bought a sand rail
yeah.
without telling her or something?
I guess. I'm not sure if he told her or not, but I know that she bought it because I guess before they met, she was living on her own. She had her own money. And she used her money to move out here.
Mm-hmm.
He once sent her back and stuff like that.
Did she ever say she wanted a divorce or anything like that? Did she talk about that?
She talked about leaving, but I don't know if she was like, she said she was scared to divorce him, but I don't know what that meant. I never really got in deep into asking her about that. She mostly talked about getting out of there, going back to Tennessee, going somewhere else. She said she wished she never got married. She didn't get the wedding she wanted.
What kind of wedding did she
She's, the big traditional style wedding.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they did.
Do you know where they got married or what they did, or did she ever tell you about it?
She did. I think she said it was a small kind of ceremony. I don't really remember though.
Okay. Did you guys talk about like each other's marriages a lot, or was it like
Mostly her telling me about how she was unhappy and scared her.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if she was lying to me or not, because from what they told me when they confronted her, she was the one that was hitting him first and always yelling at him. I don't know. So.
Mm-hmm. And then you said it kind of grew a little bit. So take you to the point where you guys are talking, or you're playing on the Xbox, you're talking on the phone. It sounds like you guys are still texting. Where does it get to the point? I mean, because it's a pretty, it's a line that you're kind of jumping over when you start going to the kissing, or when did it become physical? How long ago?
We weren't physical very long, maybe a couple weeks, until my wife found out. She had texted me, she was really upset about something. And she took her dog for a walk and she was crying. I don't really remember what she said. I think something said. But I went down there to talk to her. And I was I don't remember if we kissed that night. I don't think we did. But that was the first night that we talked for a really long time by ourselves. And I think the next day I went to work and I came over to talk to her and we kissed on the couch. I think we kissed when we played Xbox 2.
That first time?
I think so. But like I said, my emotional mindset was just it all kind of blurs together.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and when you're saying kiss, I mean it's like a peck on the cheek, or on the
No, it's like a new relationship, like a passion kiss.
Like making out?
Yeah, just but I don't know, it didn't really feel right. It just kind of felt indifferent. At that point, I think I was realizing that this wasn't going to fix anything. I just, was whatever. I just wanted to keep it going, trying to save my make-believe life. But
okay. So the first time you guys were playing Xbox, who initiated that kiss?
it was a real mutual thing.
Okay.
It wasn't someone did something or something. It was just kind of playing Xbox and kind of looked over, and then someone paused it, and then we just started kissing.
Who paused it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But and then we stopped, and it was kind of well, that was kind of weird. And then I went back to the house, and then we talked about it over text, and I was well, it wasn't that weird,
I mean, how was she with it? Okay with it?
Yeah, she was okay with it. I think we were both kind of surprised that it happened, but okay with it at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that happened. You guys were playing Xbox, and then when was the next time?
She texted me late at night, said something was up, and so I went out and met her by the playground by her house, and we kissed there.
Where's the playground?
It's this is our apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
This is the fence line back here, and this is the next complex over. The playground is right here. So,
Is it by the school?
no, it's
I'll be opposite way.
kind of like you can almost see it from my cul-de-sac if you guys step out far enough. It's like baseball distance thrown, 150. If that, no, probably not that. Yards. Not
So
just
she tells you something on the text. What did she say on the
I
text?
think she said she couldn't sleep, or fight that night, something. That's always what we talked about. It was just like, I wasn't sleeping well either. And so she asked me to meet her out there, and I did, and we talked about what was going on. Every conversation we ended up talking about how she wasn't happy, how she wanted to leave. I kept telling her, just do it. She's like, I can't, blah, 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 blah. So that was probably her lying to me about how, because I'm sure she wanted to leave, but I'm sure she could have even did if she wanted to.
Why do you think she was lying?
Huh?
Why do you think she was lying to you?
She was lying to everybody. Because when she was telling me that I was hitting her and choking her and she was scared for her life, she was hitting back. She never told me that. She never told me that she was yelling to.
She was making him out to be the bad guy.
Yeah, that's when she was villainating him, trying to make him this evil figure in my mind, when I don't think he really was. I mean, at least not to the point that I'm sure they had their arguments, but I don't think he was to the point of what she was saying. But I don't know their actual internal relationship, so.
Okay. So you guys met out at the park, what time at night would that have been?
It was late, it was 2 in the morning, something like that.
Okay. Where your wife was in the house?
Yeah, no, I was sleeping.
Okay. Did she ever catch you going out or sneaking out or anything like that? Or
She was really mad at me the night that Erin was walking her dogs and crying at the bar because I guess I was there longer than I thought. And she was like,
she knew you were talking to her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, she was like, why are you out there so long? And I was just feeding her some bullshit.
What were you telling her?
I was like, well, I was telling her that she was crying and stuff, but my worries out there were to comfort Erin, not that, just stuff like that. And she was starting to get suspicious, I think, at that point. And because, I'm usually not real guarded about my phone. I'm on it very constantly because of work, and I have names on those, but I had 6 different passwords on it, and all sorts of things.
And she knew you were being more guarded about the phone?
Yeah. I thought I was playing smart, but can't outsmart the way.
So you had 6 different passcodes?
Yeah,
I had phone or something?
I had my lock screen, an app lock, an app that locked my phone, all sorts of stuff.
So when you guys talked, was it primarily text message or was it any other apps?
No, it's primarily text message.
Okay. Do you guys have Facebook or
I don't have a Facebook.
Twitter or Snapchat, any of those kind of what are the other apps they use nowadays? What is it, the Kick app or whatever it is? Or
I'm not real into the social media thing.
yeah, I don't even know if those are the right names or anything like that. Okay, so you don't have Facebook. Do you have Twitter or anything like that? Instagram?
No.
Okay. Do you know what she does?
I don't. I'm actually sure that Facebook, I'd seen on it,
Okay.
but I don't know if she has a Twitter or an Instagram or anything like that. So.
Okay. So you talked just primarily text messages and phone calls?
Very rarely.
Okay.
Calling, we never really called each other.
Okay. You didn't want it to show up?
Yeah, it was that, and it's just I talked to her around lots of calling on the phone, it wasn't opportunistic.
Oh, so you were texting. Who did you think you were texting when you were on your phone or
I don't know. Honestly, she probably knew us. Sometimes I feel I was texting Erin, unless the conversation was casual. But, sometimes I feel I was texting someone else, or she'd be like, who you talking to? And I'm talking to Connor, or I'm talking to my sister, anything like that.
Did she ever say, let me see your phone? Or did she get jealous like that?
No.
Okay. You said she found out or she got...
She was getting really suspicious, and I guess what she did was she took this SIM card out of my phone and plugged it into the computer and accessed my text messages through that.
Okay. What kind of text messages did she find?
Just hey, I love you, I'm glad we're seeing each other, stuff like that, because I thought I was in love with her, but it was just that make-believe wife that I was in love with, that not normal daily routine. Yeah.
But you told her that you loved her. Did she tell you that she loved you?
She did.
Okay.
And I honestly, I kind of think she meant it. Because, like, after it ended, like, you know, I care for her at some level, because she did, you know, probably help me not kill myself a little, to an extent. She was, you know, a change of face, and there would probably always be that slight emotional bond that was there. But, you know, after we stopped talking, I realized, you know, like, hey, I'm not myself. I don't know what's going on. You know, she lied to me about this and this. I don't even know who she was, really. Like, I don't know if she, like, lied to me completely or partially or not at all. It's just like, you know, when you're in that kind of relationship, you don't know who's who. Because I didn't know who I was. So if I don't know who I am, I can't tell who anybody else is.
Lee tries to downplay his feelings for Erin, but this letter that he wrote her after his wife discovered the affair tells a different story.
When did you guys stop talking?
As soon as my wife found out,
When was that?
a month and a half ago, I think. It seems like forever. If you ask her, she would know.
So a month and a half ago. Tell me, that was when she pulled the SIM card out? Was it about a month and a half ago?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe 2 months. I don't think it was any more than 2 months ago.
Okay, about 2 months ago, a month and a half
Yeah,
ago.
2 months tops.
Okay, so she finds that, she pulls that out. I mean, did you let go of your phone, or, I mean, what, did she get your phone at work, or how did she get that SIM card out of that?
She did it during the night while I was sleeping. So I'm a pretty heavy sleeper. Like, and she, like, naturally and rightfully lost her mind. We had a huge argument, you know. I told her everything, how I was feeling. But she didn't know that I was feeling suicidal. She knew I was upset and, like, not right, but, like, she didn't know the extent of it. Like, it's really probably just pure chance that I'm alive, because I was spinning that cylinder almost every morning.
Okay. Oh, what kind of gun was it?
It's a revolver. It's a GP100 357.
Okay. So you were spending that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she found text messages about that, talking about you being well. She found text messages about you telling her that you loved her, and vice versa. Did it talk about anything physical? Did it talk about kisses?
I don't think so, because she asked me about that, and I told her that we had kissed, and she got really upset by that, and I don't know if, like, Erin told them that we hadn't or not, but she told me that Erin said I initiated it, but I didn't. It was a mutual thing. I think Erin was really scared because I wasn't there when we confronted her.
Okay, and how many times did you guys kiss?
4 tops.
Okay. So you guys kissed 4 times. Did anything else happen other than kissing?
No.
Okay. Any touching, groping?
Maybe some, like, hands up and down while we were kissing, but nothing real heavy.
Okay.
Nothing under clothes or anything like that.
Okay, so clothes never came off. Any oral sex on either side?
No. It never went past kissing.
Okay. Never had any type of intercourse with her?
No.
Okay. So tell me the farthest that you did with her?
The farthest we went was making out and, like, hands moving across each other's bodies, you know, just kind of basic new relation exploration type stuff, you know, like, you know, when you kiss somebody, you move your hands around, you pull them closer. That's as far as we ever got.
Okay. So just kissing?
Yes.
And just kind of touching and moving. Okay. Did you ever take clothes off around her?
I was shirtless around her, but that was at, like, the ranch and stuff, never while we were by ourselves.
Did she ever take her clothes off around you?
No.
Okay.
Lee knows that his relationship with Erin makes him a prime suspect, and that if they find out that she was pregnant and that he was the father, it will give him an even bigger motive for killing her.
And when you guys were hanging out, was it like during TV episodes, or was it like during the day, or when were you guys able to hang out? When did these make-out sessions or whatever happen?
Most of them happened in the morning after John would go to PT before I would leave for work, because since I was in charge of the Lieutenant Marines, I had kind of a more relaxed morning schedule. I could do my own thing. And my wife's not a morning person, so she's not up till like 9 or 10 anyways. So I would wait for John to go to work, and she would text me, come over and give her like a morning kiss. that only happened a few times before everybody actually found out.
Okay, so John would go to PT at what time?
Early, like 5:36, something like that.
And then you had to go to work at what time?
8, maybe you had to be in there in the office by.
Okay. So between 5:30 or 6, you'd get a text message. What would it say? Just say, come home?
Be like, hey, come over, or something like that. That only happened a couple of times. There was the Xbox time and then by the park. And that's really the only encounter we had because our relationship hadn't, like, it was like just starting to get to that point when everybody found out.
Okay. Is there going to be more than 4 times that she's texting you in the morning? Like around those 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning? I mean, is there going to be more text messages, records or whatever if we find that?
I'm not sure. There probably will be, but I can't honestly remember like every moment that we texted.
You guys texted pretty frequently?
Yes, very frequently.
What time would you normally wake up in the mornings?
5:30 or 6. Usually wake up. Sometimes I'd go PT on my own. Sometimes I would just hang out in the morning and get ready for work.
Okay, so you wake up about 5:30, 6. And what time do you go to bed usually?
Midnight, 1, maybe later. I wasn't sleeping a lot, so.
Okay, so it's a normal day is, kind of take me through a normal day. You wake up at what time and then just kind of take me through a normal day?
Usually I wake up 5:30 or 6. I'd either go PT or not, depending, because my knees, they hurt a lot, depending on how I was feeling. And then I'd go into work about 8. I'd be in the office, taking care of rosters, range, and doing all sorts of just, leadership type stuff. Come home for lunch from about 11:30 to 13, and then go back to work till 16, 17, and come home for the day.
Okay. And then when you got home from the day, what was your kind of nightly routine like?
Come home, change out of camis, help with dinner, maybe relax, play some video games, maybe not, have a drink, and then just basically get ready for bed.
And so you went over, if you went over to Erin's house, it'd be in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go over there during the day or at night?
No, not usually, because I was there, so if I went over there during the night, it would have been either to see or if me and there.
Okay. But when you hung out with Erin primarily, what time was that during the day?
It's usually like hung out. I'd see her in the morning, but we usually hung out like either after work or off work hours. What our each other's mutual spouses were doing something. We usually sit outside and talk or just hang out. But most of our interactions was through text.
Okay, most of those texts. Well, when you would go over there in the morning, like how long would you hang out over there?
Not long, half hour tops. Just because I was doing mosquito hunting. I was trying to. Where he just flew behind you. Oh, that's without trying to secret of it, I wasn't trying to draw a lot of attention in case anybody was out and about or saw it.
Did anyone ever see you going over there or confront you on there or anything like that? Okay, did your wife ever know that you were going over there at those times?
No.
Okay. Even when she found the text messages, did she know?
She knew that at that point that I was seeing her, and I don't think she cared when it happened or like she was just really upset that it had happened.
Okay, so you saw her in the mornings, and then you wouldn't hang with her because you were at work, right? Until like 16 or so.
Yeah, 16, 17,
Okay.
sometimes later, depending on what needed to get done for the day.
And then as couples, you guys hang out at night or something?
Not usually, but like occasionally we would. It wasn't a real regular thing.
Okay, and then so you made out for about 4 times. When you went over in the mornings, did anything escalate past kissing?
No.
Okay. Would you guys hang out? Which part of the room would you guys hang out, or in
The living room.
Okay. Did you ever go in the bedroom?
No.
Okay. Any other rooms in the house? Is there multiple bedrooms?
They all have 2 bedrooms. But no, we just hung out in the living room.
Okay. Did you guys ever go to any other parts of the house?
No, well, I mean, I'd go to the kitchen, but we never really hung out in there.
Okay. And then what kind of stuff would you guys talk about when you were over there in the mornings?
I'd just ask her how she slept and what's the rest of the plan for her day, and what she planned on doing. So like, I just basically normal generic foreign conversation.
Okay.
Like when we talked, it wasn't anything like special or crazy. It was just like, someone else to talk to.
Mm-hmm. And how does she make you feel?
Just not necessarily good, just, like there was something there. Like it's, that new relationship feeling where it's like, this is cool, this is new, it's something, it's just, like I said, it's just a change from what I thought was wrong. But I came back and not everything was the way I thought it was going to be. It's just...
I know you said that was kind of like your fake life. You had a real life and then kind of a fake life. Did you ever seriously consider making that the real life or making her the real person you want to be with?
I think in my mind I thought I did, but it was a big part of me not ever going anywhere, because like I didn't ever want her to be in a broken home, and I think that's what really drew me back and like kept me from going super far, was like the fact that I had my daughter. Like in my mind I knew that it was wrong what I was doing, and that I told her that I wouldn't leave her, and I told her that I had thought about it, and if I didn't have then I might, but since she was there, I wouldn't.
Okay, so you guys talked about you actually leaving. Mm-hmm. Tell me about those conversations.
Like she asked, because we thought we were like perfect together. We thought we were happy, because it's the new relationship. Like nothing.
You and Erin.
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing could go wrong. We didn't fight at all. And she's like, why don't we just stay with each other? I'm like, and then I tell her I'm not gonna put Liberty through a broken home. And she's like, well, Liberty's a strong kid. She do it. I'm like, regardless, how strong she is, it's just not something that I want to put her through. We bounced the idea back and forth, but like, I don't know if like I knew it was wrong or it's just like subconsciously like I knew I would never do it. But I just told her, this stuff's not gonna happen. I think we had talked about it a couple times. We might have texted about it, but I never really seriously considered actually ever leaving, if only for the fact that we.
Okay, if obviously he's here, but I mean, if there was no here, you'd have
never known her. Myself.
Right. Okay.
I was at that point, it's like she was pretty much the only thing that was keeping me alive. I mean, like I almost did a couple times just by pure chance, but like if it wasn't for her, I would have put 6 in the cylinder.
Okay. So this is kind of like your anchor. She's strong.
She's my strong one.
Okay. But I mean, okay. So without her, would you ever seriously consider making Erin your relationship, or kind of fixing you while fixing Erin, or kind of so?
Not now that I know. Well, before, yeah. When me and Erin were at our strongest, I probably would have, because like everything seemed like it was perfect. But I can't say it was real because I don't even know if she was telling the truth or not. That's the thing, It's like watching a movie, and being like, if that could be my life, I would, but it's not real, It's a fantasy, it's a fake idea. Did
you guys ever watch movies and love stories or whatever it was and talk about it?
We watched, what's that movie? Moulin Rouge downstairs, but there was more people than, actually, Weakest and Just Two. That was the second time, I think, now that I remember. Because our downstairs neighbor saw us, his wife actually saw us. And we were watching Moulin Rouge when that happened.
Okay. So the wife, what's the wife's name? She saw you guys kissing? Mm-hmm. Were you on the couch? Or?
Yeah, we were on separate couches, and then as the movie had progressed, we moved to one couch where I was sitting below her on the floor, trying to act casual as you could be. Or you're, trying to get close to somebody.
Did the downstairs neighbors know that you guys were kind of having a relationship?
Some did, but she was like, hey, it's none of my business what you guys are doing. You need to fix yourself. It's not my place to be telling people what you're doing,
Okay. So she kind of knew that you guys had a relationship after or before that kiss? When did she know about the relationship?
She saw it, and then she asked me what we were doing, and I knew she had saw us, so I told her, and she was like, well, it's not my place to, be telling people about your business, but you need to think about what you're doing. So she was basically telling me that I should stop, but that she wasn't going to say anything to anybody.
When did that happen? Like recently?
No, it was after the Xbox thing, but before everybody found out. So it was probably a week and a half, 2 weeks before everybody found out. I'm not sure.
When you're saying everybody found out, how long ago was that?
About a month and a half ago. So our relationship probably started about 2 months ago, and then kind of progressed it from friends to like social buddies to like an emotional closeness, and then real briefly we were kissing, and then everybody found out, and then that was the end of it.
Okay, and
that was kind of like my reckoning point where I realized, I was messed up and I needed to ask for help.
How long had it been that you guys were text messaging? Pretty frequent. I mean, you said you were frequently texting her 2 times an hour, 3 times an hour. How long did that go on for?
Probably about 2 months, maybe a little longer. Like, it wasn't real frequently up until the point where we actually started like talking to each other pretty seriously. Before that, it was real just casual conversation.
Okay. So when you guys had the casual conversation, you were still texting each other?
Mm-hmm. Like every now and then, not real often. But it wasn't until I think she had texted me about something she had like said or something like that we really started talking.
Okay. And then, can you estimate how long you guys got really serious on the text messages?
Not really, a month maybe total. Like it just, like I said, it just really seems it kind of blurs together. Because like that whole time, I wasn't really thinking straight about anything. Just really focused on work and just trying to not focus on everything else.
And during the time that you were texting Erin, how was your relationship with?
It was under a lot of duress, a lot of strain. Like she kept trying to like talk about things, and I just kept shutting her out. Like because in my mind I was like, well, I need to talk to her. Talk to Erin. There's nothing wrong with my marriage. I gotta fix this one. I got my make-believe life. It's just, and she kept trying to get me to open up, and I just kept shutting her out. But getting to the point where I was shutting everybody out. I wasn't talking to my parents anymore. It was just getting bad.
And then, what was like the physical life between you and your wife? Were you still having sex?
Yes, we were. We've always had a pretty physical relationship, and for her, it's like a de-stressor. So even like if she was mad at me, we always had a pretty good sex life. Okay,
so it was pretty frequent. I mean,
yeah.
How many times were we talking a week?
2 times a week, maybe 3 if it was a good week or a bad week.
Okay. So, I mean, has that ever changed in the time you were talking to Erin, where you stopped having sex with your wife?
No.
Or? Okay. So it's been pretty.
Well, we stopped having sex a while after she found out that she was really mad at me, and she didn't trust me, and she didn't want to be, she didn't want me to have me touch her because I kissed another girl. That was a really big deal to her. And so, I think like a week or 2 we had stopped having sex.
And how long was that?
A couple weeks, so a month ago-ish. So, but like, she's had an anger to earn her trust back, and you need to earn the right to touch her and be a good husband and stuff like that. And that's why we started doing the marriage classes.
So a month ago, that's when you stopped having sex?
No, we had stopped having sex for like a 2-week period, if that. It was right after she found out that I was talking to Erin. So, like if you need like better dates, she'd be the one to ask. She remembers like everything like that.
Okay. So there was a couple of week period where you guys stopped. She said she didn't trust you. Because you kissed Erin.
Mm-hmm.
Did she think that you guys did anything else?
No, I told her we didn't, and she believed me. It's just that kissing is a really big deal to her. It's just like, actually physical contact in general with her is a huge deal because she's not a real like social person. Like she doesn't hug people. She doesn't like hold hands with her family. So like physical contact with her is a huge deal.
Okay. Did Nicole accuse you of having sex there?
No, she asked me if I had, but she never accused me of it. Because I told her we hadn't, and she believed me, so.
What made her believe you about having sex?
Honestly, don't know. I told her we didn't, so. I mean, I'm sure in the back of her mind she probably suspected it, but she never, like once I told her we didn't, she knew that was it.
Okay. So that was about a month and a half ago or so.
Give or take, yeah.
Okay, when she found out, tell me how your relationship with Erin went. Describe that for me.
It just stopped. So, like, she found out, my wife, she took my phone for a while, and she was holding on to it. And so, me and Erin just, stopped talking.
Okay, so that was how long ago?
Month and a half ago whenever we found out. So it just like ended.
Have you talked to Erin since that day?
No. Like I'd see her now and then outside, but we don't exchange words anymore.
Okay. So in person, you haven't met with her since then?
No.
Have you gone to her house since then?
No.
And have you texted or used any other type of app to communicate with her since then?
No.
Okay. So a month and a half ago, what was your last contact like with Erin?
I think it was just like a normal casual conversation that we had because I didn't know Nicole was going to find out. And then, she found out, and then she wanted me to talk to her, but we never ended up doing it. And so my last conversation with her was probably good night, sleep tight, that was our thing. So
They paused their affair for a week or so after Lee's wife confronted them, then continued on as if the interruption had only been a minor inconvenience.
And do you know what day it was? Or
I don't.
Time, or
no,
what time did you guys usually text each other good night?
midnight around there, depending if someone was tired or someone was awake.
Okay. So that was about a month and a half ago?
Yeah.
Okay, no contact since?
No.
Okay. When was the last time you actually saw her?
I think last week, she was outside or she was, I can't be real sure, but I think that's the last time I remember seeing her. Because she stayed inside a lot, especially after everything blew up and went down. She was inside a lot. I think she was afraid that was in front of her again. Because from what I gathered, like it was when they confronted her, it was pretty bad. Like she was trying to light her way out of it or something. But I wasn't there when it happened.
Okay, do you know when that day was when they confronted her?
Mm-hmm. I think he would, but
Was there also?
I think so. Yeah, he was there. Was there. I think I was there.
Okay. So were there when they confronted Erin?
Mm-hmm.
Why did your wife confront Erin?
She wanted to clear the playing field, like understand everything that was going on. Because she got my side of the story. I told her what had happened. I think she wanted to get Erin's half. Because I told her what we were talking about, stuff like that. And my wife, she saw all the text messages. And so, when someone does something wrong, you tell them they did something wrong, and that's the why they did it. She's not a confrontational person, but she will let you know when you've done wrong, if you've done wrong.
And what was the outcome of that confrontation?
I think she told them that I had kissed her first. They had found out that's when they found out that she was lying. She lied to me. She was lying about what I was doing. She was lying, I guess, to her friends, to everybody else. I don't really know because I was trying to, it was a really soft, sensitive subject for me. So I was trying to avoid the conversation as well as I could and hold her brain up. Because I was picking up pieces of everything that I had done.
Okay. Here's a coffee now. Use the restroom real quick. Thank you. Thanks for being patient, man. That coffee was terrible. I'm sorry. My sergeant doesn't know I make coffee, man. There's grounds all over it. And
Best coffee is like 3-day-old diner coffee.
exactly. Okay. Some of the follow-up question stuff that I need to ask you a little bit, just to kind of close up some of these gaps. Have you, when you were talking to Erin, has she ever been in your Jeep at all?
Yeah, she a couple times. I gave her some rides when we were going, not back and forth to the ranch, but to the gas station and stuff near the ranch. She'd been in the Jeep with me, her and butting together. I think a few other times that I can't really name off the top of my head.
Hey, when was the last time she was in your Jeep?
Sometime when we were talking, what it has been. I don't know specifically.
When you were talking, when?
When we were texting back and forth with each other. Because, when we were at the ranch together, she'd be in it, or if we went, when me and her were butting together, she'd be in it.
When you guys went to the ranch together, where would she sit?
It'd be up front or in the back, depending, if me and her went to the gas station to get something, or she sat up front while we were mudding a couple times, and then she sat in the back.
How many times did you guys, was it when you went to the gas station, was it just you and her?
No, it was usually me, her, or another person, depending who was there. We didn't go places by ourselves, except for the only time we went by ourselves was when we went mudding. She parked her car farther away from the mud pit because she didn't want to get stuck. And then she rode about 5 minutes in there to where we were actually mudding.
Where was that at?
Over behind the college, off of the Sunfair, and I think the Hollywood is the other road.
How long ago was that?
It was a while ago. Couple months maybe.
Okay. And she sat in front sometimes, she sat in the rear. Has she been, I think it freaks me out. Has she, do you have any other vehicles other than that Jeep Cherokee?
No, I have my wife's Grand Cherokee and then my black Grand Cherokee.
According to friends, Lee lured Erin to Joshua Tree by saying that they would have a romantic evening and implying that he was going to propose. The police found her car surrounded by tracks that matched the tires of Lee's truck. Later, they discovered Erin's body in an abandoned mineshaft, along with the garrote that Lee used to kill her. Erin's excuse for driving up to Joshua Tree that day was puzzling. She claimed that she was checking to see if it would be a good location to bring her mother for a visit.
So, recently, have you picked anybody up in this area?
No.
And that's why I'm asking about her car, okay? Because we found her car.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was parked in that dirt.
Okay.
Okay, so Any reason why she would have been parked in that dirt?
No, not that I can think of. Maybe she was meeting up with somebody, but that'd be a really poor place to meet up with a car because the sand's so soft back there. Like how far back?
I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, because like most of the roads are okay, but a lot of them get really soft, like because the sand just blows soft items onto them, and so I don't take anything that's not 4-wheel drive off the pavement.
Okay. And Chris, you gotta be honest with me. You know, if you met her, if you talked to her, something, you know, if that happened, you gotta be honest with me here. Because would there be any reason why we have some evidence linking you to that scene over here in the dirt near her car?
Not really. I mean, besides the fact that I'm over there, you know, multiple times a week. And this is where I drive and I shoot my pellet gun.
How many times has her car been there?
I don't know. This would be the first time that I've known it being there.
Here's what concerns me. If you guys are meeting up, if you guys are hanging out, you don't want your wife to find out, you don't want the military to find out, because here's the deal. I don't work for the military, okay? I know you can be court-martialed and all that stuff. I don't care about that. I'm not worried about affairs. That's not what I'm worried about, okay? That's not my job, okay? Whatever that is, dude, you're getting out. You know, that's something completely different. I don't care about that. I don't care if you had an affair. I don't care if you guys had sex. That's not what I'm worried about here, okay? That's not what I'm getting at. If you guys met here, okay, and there's some evidence that leads me to believe that you did meet here, okay? I need you to be honest with me, because again, I don't work for the military, okay? I'm not your wife. I'm not going to judge you. We're sitting here, it seems like, you know, I'm trying to be real with you. It seems like you're trying to be real with me, but it feels like you're kind of holding back a little bit. And I need you to kind of open up and be honest with me, okay? Because if you met her there and something happened, dude, you're talking about going out in the mountains. You're talking about some other guy shooting. Dude, if she got hurt, if she got shot, if something happened to her in the mountains, I need to know about that. Her family needs to know about it. And that's what we're looking at right now. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
I do.
Okay. So, is there any reason why I would believe that you met her there?
No, there shouldn't be. I mean, like, can you tell me, like, what kind of evidence it is?
Chris, we're not going to go there, okay? The most important thing is that you're being honest with me.
And I understand.
I need you to be straightforward with me, okay? Because if something happened up here in the mountains, you guys went out, you have, you know, enjoy your day, you were taking her out in the forest or the national parks or anything like that, kind of showing her some things, and something happened out here, this guy's shooting off rounds and hit her and you got scared, you know, something like that happened, I need to know about that, okay? I need to know about that. You know, I don't know if that's what happened. You need to kind of tell me, let me know if that's what happened. Can you kind of give me some type of insight to why you guys met up there on Saturday?
We didn't meet up.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever been out with her up in the mountains or in this area?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Do you know if she's been in this area?
I don't.
You know, because this is a scary situation up there. You're talking about a guy, you're a military trained guy. She's 19 years old. She's not trained. She doesn't know what's going on as far as that goes. You know, and if something happened, did something happen up here?
No. Well, besides, like, I was alone, so Everything that happened is what happened.
Okay. And you didn't meet her
No.
here at Valley Vista? What was the other? Okay. At the phone, your phone that you have, this phone, you got service at 3 o'clock. Were you able to call your wife then?
When I got out of the house, yes,
Did you call your wife?
I did.
And she was still crying?
She was. She told me to get home because she was worried about me. It was a really short conversation because she was having a hard time breathing.
Okay. And at that time, so when was the last time? So how many calls did you make after you got out of the?
I called to tell him, that he should have came because some renegade shot at me. And then
What time did you call?
right after I turned my phone back on, I think. What day was Saturday?
That was the.
Sunday was 29th.
Okay. We'll talk about that probably. Chris, we need to be honest here, okay? You talk about evidence, right? You talk about you want to be straight up. I'm being straight up with you. We do have some evidence there. Okay, your tire tracks are there, as well as her tire tracks, and your tire tracks drove over hers, showing that you met her there, and your tire tracks drove over hers. Okay, so it shows that both vehicles were there at the same time. So I'm having a hard time explaining, let's figure out why both of your vehicles were there at the same time. Help me understand that.
They couldn't have been. Could her vehicle have been there and then left and then my tire tracks drove over them?
No, your tire tracks drove over hers.
And I don't know how that happened.
So here's the thing. She drove there Saturday morning. Okay, she drove there in the morning. Your tire tracks drove over hers. You said the last time you drove over there was Thursday. She doesn't drive out there every day. Her car was still there. Your tracks drove over hers since Saturday.
Could have been a different vehicle because I wasn't out there Saturday.
It's your vehicle, Chris. You gotta be honest with me.
I'm being honest with you.
You gotta be honest with me. You have to give me something to explain. I have to go out here. I've been talking to you for hours. My supervisor hasn't. My supervisor knows things, the evidence at the scene. Okay? I have to have something. I have to walk out here and go tell my sergeant, okay, this is what explains. This is why his tire tracks are over hers. And this is why it makes sense. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay, so I need something. You gotta be honest here. You gotta really be honest here. Because I need to go out and tell my sergeant, hey, this is why. You gotta give me something.
I don't know why it would be like that.
Okay, my sergeant's texting, asking questions, and talking about this dirt. Okay, I'm gonna have to walk back out, take a break in a second, and I have to give him something. What can I tell him? Why are your Jeep tracks over her Corolla tracks?
I don't know. I'm sure I'm not the only one with those kind of tires. I mean, they're a pretty common brand. It could have been any other vehicle, but it wasn't mine. I wasn't out there Saturday. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. I mean, if she was lying to me, hooking with me, she very well could have been hooking with somebody else.
You understand we're very good at our jobs.
I understand that.
You understand that there's wear patterns, not specific. Even if me and you are wearing the same shoe, we wear our shoes differently. Tires are worn differently. Vehicles are driven differently over road surfaces, dirt surfaces, concrete, gravel surfaces, and they have different wear patterns. You understand that. You're a military guy, you understand that. Just like footprint, there's toe digs and heel, drags and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's texting me right now. You gotta give me something. You gotta be honest here.
I really don't know what you want me to tell you.
Tell me about some of her friends that you know.
The only friend she ever talked about was
Who's
she said it was her best friend back home.
what did she tell you about, other than her being her best friend?
That she was in some kind of messed up relationship and that they talked all the time. That was pretty much it.
Did she tell you that she talked to you about you?
No.
Do you know who she talked to you about you?
I don't know.
What other friends?
That's the only one that I can think of off the top of my head that she talked about all the time.
What could she have told me?
She could have told you anything because whenever we were hanging out, she would tell her something and blow her up because she would just a lot of drama. And sometimes Erin didn't want to hear about it, so she'd just tell her she was doing something else or whatever.
Tell her she was doing something else, like what?
Like tell her she was busy or she was driving, even though we weren't, just because she didn't want to talk to Jeff. Because Jeff was coming at her with what was going on in her life, or Jeff would call while we were hanging out, and she would give her some kind of excuse that she didn't want to talk right now.
Did Erin tell Jeff what was going on in her life?
I'm not sure. I wasn't really around. They texted. I wasn't around when they had conversations.
Christopher Lee admitted to killing Erin Corwin during his trial. He was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.